ask you for assistance.
As I've said, that when I met him for the first time, I asked if he's Matlala, and I was not told by Mabonga that who am I meeting. So, but
are you still active in the political arena? Why would they mention this specifically to you?
Who? Brown?
Matlala. Yes.
Because it says my name was mentioned. To say, we'll work well with you so long you don't work with Zuma and Cele. In that particular meeting. So that's one reason. Once you see me, he realizes that it's being abused. But the second one is an affidavit that was to be prepared to arrest Sibiya.
Yes.
Not Sibiya. Khumalo. General Dumisani Khumalo. Too many because there are other Khumalos that are still coming. This is Dumisani Khumalo.
So just clarity, because I heard you touching on it. Did you now say that Kat told you that there was indeed a meeting where Minister Senzo was present with Brown and himself?
They spoke about the project.
And spoke about the project for the ANC president, indeed.
Yes, it did.
And the minister denied it yesterday.
Well, he really did tell me that.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Is Matlala working or through Sibiya that is taking Khumalo to court? Yes.
So when you were asked by Mr. Mpongoshi to meet, or rather, let me ask you this: did he tell you that you were going to meet someone interesting, someone of interest, someone important? What did he tell you before you went to the Beverly Hills Hotel, or did you just go with him?
Well, he wanted to see me. He's a KZN boy, so it's December, I'm sure we're all in holiday. So I have met him before, Mabonga. So I have met him before. So he has I think he has not a private security company himself, Mabonga. And then he did come to me and said, look, you're out of government. If you're in Joburg, you can use my services to take you from here to there. Though I haven't used much of his services, but like a boy, I've said yes the once or twice. So Mabonga was quite easy, and we have been meeting with him.
So let me just.
So when he says want to see me, no many questions will follow from me to him.
And he comes in his private jet, did you say?
Who now?
Matlala?
I don't know how it came about. Oh. I don't know how it came about.
Oh, I thought I heard you said he. Yeah.
I think it does have a private jet. I think it does have a private jet because as he speaks, he's a person that would not have hours of coming in
waiting at the airport,
yeah,
in a lounge or in the public area, like us.
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Not like you in the VIP lounge. But seriously, did you know of Matlala? Anything about him? Or did you know of him as a businessman, business person?
It's exactly what I'm saying, that I read about him 2 weeks before I met him, and I was saying to myself, when I continue to engage with him and I see him and I see his records, I ask myself, how did he manage to fly below radar for him to know? Because most of his kind, one would know. Before there is a story about him on the paper and the money, I didn't know him.
But now that you met him, what was your impressions of him? I mean, you've been involved in the police. I'm sure you have a sense better than us ordinary citizens about people you interact with, and especially a sense of, what they're doing. Is it the right thing or the wrong thing, or you at least have a suspicion about something? What were your impressions?
There will be two matters here, SC. As I've said, that he has really managed to fly below the radar. As I've said, that I would know Keke, I would know people like BP and other those guys. I know people like Mashobane from Ashratfield and all that. So I didn't. Now I know him. I've spoken to him. I've engaged him. I had somebody being interviewed from Mamelodi, saying he's a very good, kind person. They know he's a person that helps them. Looking at him from the very word go, remember, I've met here a person that I don't know has been arrested, has not been arrested. Looking at him, he looks a cool guy. As you definitely look at him, he looks a cool guy. Until you begin to hear, you begin to get records. For instance, I was looking at the withdrawn cases and all that kind of stuff, and I said, this one is too long. How does he manage to fly below all of us? Because withdrawn cases are done by courts, which means the police have taken him to court.
Yeah.
So, but as I've said, you begin to look him with a new eye than the person that you have ordinarily met.
Okay. Now, were you aware, or did you know, or were you involved in the award of this 360 million rand Tswane contract? Because that tender was awarded during your term as Minister of Police.
Well, I think there are billions of tens that are issued from the police.
But not this big.
I don't know, but I wouldn't say it can't happen. We might come back to that. I wouldn't say it can't be that big. I think there could be big, but I don't know. But looking at the operations and things that are done, it could be some money with the tenders. For instance, I would guess that the tender of buying cars is big. I don't know how much it would be. But when police buy cars, they buy cars in a big way. I would guess so. I think the other tender that would have been big is a tender of laboratories. Once upon a time, we had a serious problem about laboratories, the DNA in South Africa. It was a mess. And you discovered that 16 contracts were not renewed. And I don't know how much it would take to renew those things. The IT is quite big, the IT with the South African police. The guns, the bullets. Remember, the bullets are not only chasing criminals. There's a lot of bullets that are used for training. So I guess that will be. But that does not reduce this, that is big. But I would not absolutely say this is the biggest. I guess they are big, but this one also, especially for the individual, is quite big.
So when you met him, you didn't know, or you weren't aware that he had secured this 360 million rand tender?
Indeed, after I've read 2 weeks before I met him, I knew he had this tender.
So you did some research on him before you met him?
No, it was an article in the paper that he is the guy that is got links with Tembisa issues has again won this big tender with another government department, which happens to be the police. So it was an article somewhere. I can't remember.
I think that was the article that appeared in News 24 about Matlala.
Well, I can't remember the publication, but it was on the media.
But didn't that arouse or raise your suspicions about him? Because that's what the article suggests, is that this is a person, this is a guy, who's connected. Forgive me, I don't know exactly what the article said, but if I recall, it suggests that he is not clean, that he's shady. And here you, as a former minister of police, you go and meet such a person. And we know that he's come to meet you to ask you for assistance.
As I've said, that when I met him for the first time, I asked if he's Matlala, and I was not told by Mabonga that who am I meeting. So, again, I have read that stories, but the stories and the man that is being suspected would have to be confirmed by talking and engaging after we have engaged, rather than to say, I read the story from you and then I run away. Especially in the environment that we work. Sometimes these stories you want to follow because you want to see what else can you do to reach the other elements of what you have heard, what you have seen.
Now, you say that is when he explained that he had been approached to fund a project by someone who aims to be the ANC president or deputy president, and the Minister Mkunu's name was mentioned.
Correct.
And that Brown Mkhotsi had met with him and Mr. Minister Mkunu. Why would they have mentioned that to you? You are now, even as we speak, I don't think, are you still active in the political arena? Why would they mention this specifically to you?
Who? Brown?
Matlala. Yes.
Because it says my name was mentioned. Okay. To say, we'll work well with you so long you don't work with Zuma and Cele. In that particular meeting. So that's one reason. Once you see me, he realizes that it's being abused. But the second one is an affidavit that was to be prepared to arrest Sibiya.
Yes.
Not Sibiya. Khumalo. General Dumisani Khumalo. Too many because there are other Khumalos that are still coming. This is Dumisani Khumalo.
Just one moment, Honorable Malema.
No, Minister, I just want you to confirm that you are still active, because the question almost suggested that you are no longer politically active.
No, politically I'm active. I'm still the member of the National Executive Committee of the ANC, and still have some activities in the province where I come from.
Okay. So
okay.
that part of the information that Matlala was funding.
SC, just before we proceed, let me recognize the presence of the following two members of Parliament, Honorable Kobe from Action SA and Honorable Slepe from the MKP. Thank you so much, Honorable members, for giving yourself time to join our proceedings. You may proceed.
Thank you, Honourable Chair. So that would be of interest to you. This is a bit of political information that that Matlala is funding the ambitions of someone in the party. So that would be of interest to you.
Well, surely they would, because as an active member, I would have my preferences. But this information was not invited by me. But I would not say I don't want to hear it.
Okay. So now you're actually meeting him for the first time, and you're getting this information from Matlala. Now, surely your impressions, your perception of him must be changing. What are you thinking now after hearing this?
No, there are no perceptions that are changing. I've met a person that I do not know has given me this information, and there is an action that I need to take. The action that I need to take is that the court, Khumalo should not go to court, because Khumalo going to court is not genuine. Is to put him there, he loses the case and is disciplined, and I guess the aim is to take him out of police, especially having come from the person that I knew. They were not very close, him and Sibiya. So I had to action that.
Now,
going forward.
Minister,
SC,
you.
there is Honorable James behind.
Thank you, Chair. It is just a clarity-seeking question, because I recall posing a question yesterday to Minister Senzo, asking him if he had met with Brown and with Kat to discuss a certain project about a campaign for president or deputy president. I told him that's part of your testimony, and he said it's a blatant no. So just clarity, because I heard you touching on it. Did you now say that Kat told you that there was indeed a meeting where Minister Senzo was present with Brown and himself?
They spoke about the project.
And spoke about the project for the ANC
Yes, it did.
president, indeed.
Yes, it
And
did.
the minister denied it yesterday.
Well, he really did tell me that.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chair.
May we proceed? Honorable James, are you okay? May we proceed? Thank you. SC?
Thank you, Honourable Chair. General, you have so much of experience in the police portfolio. You're sitting opposite a very well-heeled person in a high-end hotel who's asking you to collude with him effectively to defeat the ends of justice. He's asking you for a favor to make sure that one of your best, maybe our best, police officers, Khumalo, must not conclude an investigation into him. Why didn't you get up and say, but I didn't come here for this. This is objectionable. This is outrageous. How did you respond to that?
Did I hear well when I said I spoke to Matlala to stop Khumalo investigating?
Yes.
No.
But I'm sorry, General, just so that you understand what I'm asking or putting to you clearly.
Okay.
What he's asking you is to break the law when he says you must do something for him. and he's telling you, you know, what Sibiya wants to do. This involves very much the PKTT on the one end and the Gauteng syndicate on the other end, involving Molefe, Matlala, and he's sitting right in front of you.
SC, I don't know Matlala as we meet at Beverly.
Yeah.
By the way, Beverly is high end, but I eat breakfast every Sunday there. So to me, it's quite next door to me. Secondly, he doesn't talk to me about stopping him being raided or arrested. He talks to me being approached to do things so that Khumalo can be arrested.
Yes.
That's hence the affidavit to say Khumalo did not just raid, it was illegal, but not only that, the theft. Is Matlala working or through Sibiya that is taking Khumalo to court? But Matlala does not want to face Khumalo in court because he doesn't want to jeopardize the relationship with the police since he has this tender from the police. It would be good then Matlala realizes that he's being abused or used to achieve other ends rather than what was there as a raid on that particular day. So Matlala raises the issue that he would love that the matter that is going to court could be settled out of court, because going to court is not genuine. Going to court is to make sure that Khumalo is found wanting, that he will lose the case that he was unlawful. If then Khumalo loses the case, somebody who happens to be Sibiya will then put discipline to him and be able to take him out of, or punish him or take him out of the organization.
Yes, General, it sounds to me, and I may not be alone in this room thinking like what I'm going to tell you, that he wants to draw you into a conspiracy to neutralize Khumalo. That's what it's about ultimately. Now, perhaps at the time, it didn't occur to you, or you weren't conscious of it.
No.
Because to be fair, because you then suggest, well, you must have a meeting with Khumalo, isn't it? Let me just read from your affidavit so that I don't put words in your mouth. You said, I advised Mr. Matlala that he needed to meet with Lieutenant General Khumalo to discuss the matter.
Indeed.
And the charges he was instructed to bring against him and the team that had raided his property on 6 December 2014. Now you, especially as Minister of Police, former Minister, better informed than the ordinary person, it's at least alleged that he's involved in criminal activity. And you would expect, especially that Khumalo was involved in the raid on his house on the 6th of December. So you should have been more aware than most of us that Matlala is trying to induce you to do something which is not lawful.
Well, SC, maybe that's correct, but my angle is that at the end of the day here is Khumalo who's going to pay last victim, and that is what I could not agree with. Hence, I got involved because if Khumalo loses the case that is going to court next week, is getting disciplined. But if the case, that's why Matlala meeting Khumalo is to brief him about what Sibiya has conspired against Khumalo. My angle is not saying don't raid Matlala. My angle is that if anything, which I did not know that Matlala is being investigated and all that kind of thing. But I've got no angle of Matlala. My angle is this Khumalo who is put on a trap of going to court, understanding that it's taking somebody, and is not him, by the way, SC. It's not Khumalo that is taking Matlala to court. It's Matlala who's taking Khumalo to court for unlawful, which does not come from him, which he has been pushed through. So my angle here is that we can't have Khumalo that will go to court and lose and then get out of the system. That's my angle on this matter. But I don't deny that looking at this under angle would have benefited Matlala on it. But my sole focus here is that nobody should take Khumalo to court, not genuinely so, but to make sure that Khumalo becomes a victim at the end of the day.
Well, it also relates to a huge tender, 360 million rand tender that had been awarded to him. And now he says, look, I don't want this award to be prejudiced or, as it turned out, terminated because of my involvement in this issue involving Khumalo, involving Sibiya, the fight between them. So please help me out. That's the nub of this story here.
Well,
that's why you're being called to this meeting.
Well, two things. Indeed, if this contract is not cancelled, it will benefit, no doubt about it. But that's not my angle. My angle is that Khumalo, I don't know what Kholelo part is, but is not lured to the problem. Khumalo, that my angle here and my gist of here, I want to believe that if there was no Khumalo and him going to court about this matter would have ended there. Even if maybe it was a raid from other people that I do not know, I would not have pursued. The issue here for me, SC, is Khumalo.
But we know you didn't go and speak to Khumalo about it.
I did speak to Khumalo.
When? Afterwards?
Yes, I did.
Because I would have thought you would have said, look, hold it.
No.
Because now you only have one side of the story.
No, I did.
From Matlala.
I did speak to Khumalo.
Yes.
About his going to court, and going to court is this what Matlala says is planned with Sibiya. Hence, Sibiya pushes Matlala to take Khumalo to court. So I did. And Khumalo was going to raise it with his lawyers to see how it go about. Because the issue now was that him being taken to court is not genuine that he's being taken to court because of illegal, but he's being taken to court so that he becomes a victim and takes out of the system. But I did speak to Khumalo. What I do not know is that if Khumalo did speak to Matlala, I don't know that. But the case was dropped, and I guess lawyers did speak. But whether Khumalo did speak to Matlala, because Khumalo would have known more about the raid and pursuance of Matlala than me. Maybe without telling me, he would not speak to. But I did suggest that what Matlala is briefing me about, he must brief Khumalo. I did say so.
But it's still even after this meeting or this encounter, and after you had spoken to Khumalo, surely, or let me just pause at that point. After you spoke to Khumalo, after this meeting, did Khumalo not explain to you why the raid happened?
No, it didn't.
Didn't you ask him about it?
No, I didn't ask about the raid, and he didn't tell me about the raid, why they were raiding.
But I thought that was the whole reason why Matlala wanted you to intervene and speak to Khumalo. He's not telling you, and I'm reading from paragraph 69, you said, Mr. Matlala explained that Lieutenant General Sibiya had written an affidavit on his behalf, alleging that during the raid on his home, Mr. Matlala's Rolex watch was stolen by members of the PKTT, seconded to the Gauteng County Intelligence Operations. However, the Rolex was in Mr. Matlala's possession and had not been stolen. So I thought you would tell Khumalo, look, this is what I've been told.
My angle here was that Khumalo was being lured to trouble. To say taking him to court has got nothing to do with illegality of the raid, but is used as a transit towards his being disciplined, because he will have to lose the case in court, and then his seniors, which happens to be, because he reports to this Deputy National Commissioner, who is Sibiya, who is this interior motive of sending Matlala. But Matlala says, now I realize that I'm being used. So please tell Khumalo that it's not me, it's Sibiya. So the case that is taken by Matlala, he wants to drop it so that Khumalo is not taken to this grinding machine by Sibiya through Matlala. I'm saying the angle of me talking and entertaining this matter is that angle of Khumalo telling him that is not Matlala, but there is somebody behind Matlala.
Honorable Nomvalo.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I just need some clarification from the General. I think if I heard him correctly, he said that Matlala made an indication to him that he is worried that if he continues with laying a charge against Khumalo, that might put his contract, or it might expose his contract to danger. Now, what I need clarity on, General, is what were you concerned about here? Were you concerned about Matlala losing a tender, or Khumalo being unfairly treated? I just need clarity on that.
Maybe let's repeat the words of Matlala to say, I don't want to go in conflict with the police because I don't want to lose. I don't want the conflict with the police because I have this contract. So I don't want to lose because I'm fighting with the police. I'm saying, Honorable Member, my consent was Khumalo issue being taken to this machine with an understanding that he needs to lose at the end of the day. But I'm not denying that Matlala himself could have benefited in that process of saving his contract. But that's not the main issue here. The main issue is Khumalo that is taken to court, and he must lose the court and that discipline and taken out of the system.
I'll pursue it during my turn, Chair.
Thanks, Honorable Chair. General Cele, did I understand you to say that you read this News 24 article about Matlala before the meeting?
Yes.
Okay. Now that article is at page 71. It's BC 8.
Page
70.
81.
Yeah, BC 8, 71 and 72.